Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, General Hospital Diaries. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. It looks like Tracy Quartermain's plans for a peaceful escape to France are about to take a dramatic turn. Just when she thought she could step away from the chaos in Port Charles, fate had other ideas. The latest General Hospital spoilers tease that Tracy's much-anticipated trip overseas will be cut short, and it's not because of sightseeing plans gone wrong. Instead, she's about to be pulled right back into the family drama that never seems to end. And this time, Drew Cain will find himself in Tracy's crosshairs for what she sees as his ultimate betrayal, abandoning Ned during one of the most critical moments in the Quartermain family's history. Tracy has never been known for forgiveness, especially when family loyalty is involved. So, when word reaches her that Drew has once again let Ned down, her blood will boil. For Tracy, family comes first, even if she doesn't always show it in the warmest way. She's been trying to take a step back, letting the younger generation handle things at LQ and beyond, but she's not about to sit quietly when she hears that Drew has turned his back on Ned when he needed him most. While Tracy may be living it up in France, surrounded by fine wine and better company, the moment she hears about what's been happening in Port Charles, she'll know she has to return. Fans know Tracy doesn't make long flights for nothing. If she's cutting her European trip short, it's because she's got a mission, and this time her target is Drew. The tension between Drew and Ned has always been simmering beneath the surface. From business rivalries to personal slights, their relationship has been rocky at best. And even though Drew has tried to maintain a sense of peace, his actions lately have made that impossible. When Ned went through his latest crisis, both emotionally and professionally, Drew wasn't there. He chose to focus on his own ambitions, leaving Ned to pick up the pieces. To someone like Tracy, that's unforgivable. She's seen her share of betrayals in the family, but what Drew did feels personal. Tracy has a long memory, and she doesn't forget who's been loyal and who hasn't. She's also fiercely protective of the Quartermain name and legacy. If Drew's decisions have put ELQ or the family's reputation in jeopardy, she'll see that as a direct attack. And once Tracy feels someone has wronged her or her family, she becomes relentless. Expect her return to Port Charles to be filled with cutting remarks, icy confrontations, and a full-blown plan to put Drew in his place. But Drew isn't someone who bows easily. He's gone through war zones, memory losses, and betrayals of his own. So when Tracy storms back into town, he's not likely to cower. Instead, Drew might stand his ground and tell her exactly why he made the choices he did, even if that means reigniting old wounds. Drew's moral compass often puts him in impossible situations, where he tries to balance business with doing what's right. But Tracy doesn't care about excuses. In her eyes, he abandoned Ned, and that's all that matters. There's also the question of what exactly happened between Ned and Drew during this latest ordeal. Rumors suggest that a new ELQ project went off the rails, one that Ned believed Drew would handle alongside him. But when Drew failed to step up, Ned had to take the heat alone. This could have left Ned embarrassed, professionally humiliated, or even financially exposed. And nothing enrages Tracy more than seeing a Quartermain made to look weak. That alone might be enough to have her packing her bags and cutting her trip short, ready to deal with Drew face to face. But Tracy's return won't just be about anger. Underneath her frustration is a deep sense of guilt and protectiveness. Despite her tough exterior, she loves her family fiercely. When one of them suffers, especially Ned, she feels it. Seeing him in crisis, feeling betrayed and abandoned, could stir old emotions in Tracy that she tries so hard to bury. Maybe her trip to France was never really about relaxation. Maybe it was about running from the stress of everything she's left behind. Now, she's being forced to confront it head-on. Fans know Tracy's comebacks are never quiet. She doesn't tiptoe back into town. She storms in, shaking things up from the moment she walks through the door. Expect her to make her grand entrance at the Quartermain mansion, luggage in hand, demanding answers. Drew might not even see it coming. He could be at ELQ, thinking he's in control, when suddenly Tracy shows up with that unmistakable look that says trouble's coming. When Tracy confronts Drew, sparks will fly. She'll accuse him of putting his ego ahead of the family, of chasing power while Ned was left vulnerable. She might even threaten to pull rank at ELQ, using her influence to undermine his authority. Tracy has never hesitated to use her power to get what she wants, and if she believes Drew deserves to be punished, she'll make it happen. But this time, Drew might have a few surprises of his own. He's grown more assertive, more strategic, and less willing to be manipulated. When Tracy tries to intimidate him, he could turn the tables and remind her of her own questionable choices. After all, Tracy isn't innocent. She's done plenty in the past that has hurt her family, and Drew might be the one bold enough to say it to her face. That could lead to one of the most explosive showdowns the Quartermaines have seen in years. While Tracy and Drew go head-to-head, the rest of the family might get caught in the middle. Olivia will no doubt try to keep the peace, but she's also fiercely protective of Ned. If she believes Drew wronged her husband, she may quietly support Tracy's side. On the other hand, Brooklyn might find herself torn. She's grateful to Drew for helping her in the past, but she's also loyal to her grandmother. Her attempts to mediate could backfire, creating even more tension in the already divided household. And what about Ned himself? Depending on his state of mind, he may not want to see anyone fighting on his behalf. He could be tired of the constant family warfare and try to shut it down before it gets worse. But Tracy doesn't listen easily, especially when she feels justified. Her determination to make Drew pay might push Ned into another emotional spiral, something that could have long-term consequences for his health and stability. This situation could also shake up ELQ in major ways. Tracy might use her anger as fuel to reclaim more control over the company. With her sharp business instincts and ruthless drive, she could start reshuffling alliances and forcing board members to pick sides. Drew could find himself isolated, cornered, and facing a full-blown Quartermaine rebellion. And if that happens, the fallout could extend far beyond the boardroom. Tracy's return could also reignite old rivalries. She's bound to clash with other powerful figures in Port Charles who've been keeping an eye on ELQ's fortunes. If Valentine or Nina get wind of the internal chaos, they might try to exploit it for their own gain. Tracy knows how to play hardball, but even she might find herself outmaneuvered if too many enemies start circling at once. Meanwhile, Drew's personal life could also take a hit. The stress of defending himself against Tracy might strain his relationships with those closest to him. Carly could step in, trying to help Drew weather the storm, but that might only add more fuel to the fire. Tracy has never been Carly's biggest fan, and if she suspects Carly's influence played a role in Drew's recent decisions, she'll be even more determined to make him pay. As the situation escalates, Port Charles could see the return of classic Quartermaine chaos, arguments over breakfast, family meetings gone wrong, and a power struggle that threatens to tear everything apart. Tracy's return is never just about one issue. It's about control, legacy, and pride. She might start this war over Ned's crisis, but it could quickly spiral into something much bigger. And yet, beneath all the yelling and the drama, there's always that flicker of love and loyalty that defines the Quartermaines. Tracy may be furious with Drew now, but she might eventually realize that her anger is masking her fear of losing her family, fear of seeing history repeat itself. Maybe in her own complicated way, she just wants to make sure no one else gets hurt. Still, fans can expect weeks of explosive confrontations, emotional breakdowns, and power plays as Tracy's return sends shockwaves through Port Charles. Drew will have to face not only her wrath but also the truth about the choices he's made. And by the time this feud settles, ELQ and the Quartermaine family itself might never be the same again. One thing's for sure, Tracy Quartermaine is on her way home, and she's not coming back quietly. She's ready to make Drew pay, and she'll stop at nothing to restore the family's honor, no matter who stands in her way. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.